Hello and welcome to our 2-Minute Tuesday video for the week. 6 months ago, we released our first non-Dynamics 365 related tip. It was tip number 8, and it was about engaging presentation settings when you're sharing your screen during a conference, or if you're having a sales call or a demo, a presentation, and you don't want the pop-ups for new emails and messages from Skype for Business coming up and distracting your audience. So the idea is, you go into presentation settings, you enable presentation mode, and then all of those things are out of the way. They don't keep popping up. Your battery never dies. Your screensaver never kicks in, etc. Now, some of you pointed out a fact, which is presentation settings are only available on laptop computers, and that's true. Out of the box, presentation settings is not available on desktop computers. So if you're like me that uses a desktop at the office and laptops when you travel or go on site to customers and whatnot, then you struggle because you don't have a way to engage presentation settings on your desktop. Me, for example, sometimes I do calls from the office that are really, really long. For example, I had a 3-hour training session today. And during those 3 hours, if I didn't have presentation settings, the amount of emails and Skype for Business messages and pop-ups distracting my audience and my students essentially will be overwhelming over 3 hours. So I had to do something about presentation settings. Now, again, you cannot enable, or out of the box at least, you cannot enable presentation settings on a desktop, but locally there's a couple of registry keys we can add into Windows 10 that allows us to engage them in a desktop, and that's the topic of today's tip. So let's start the countdown and let's go. So what you're going to do is you're going to follow the steps I added down on the description below. But essentially, you're going to navigate into your HKey current user, software, and Microsoft. And within the Microsoft key or folder, you're going to be adding a new key. And that key is called Mobile PC. So if I scroll all the way down, you can see right here, Mobile PC will be the key that you will be adding into the software Microsoft folder or key. Now, inside of that, you will be creating two new keys. One is called Adaptable Settings, and the other one is called Mobility Center. Now, inside of Adaptable Settings, you will be adding a Skip Battery Check DWORD registry key that you're going to enable. So you can see the value is 1. Then under Mobility Center, you're going to be adding Run on Desktop and also engage that to 1. Now, when you create this key, these other keys won't be added. Those will be added later automatically. But the idea is that once you add those changes into your registry, into your desktop computer, now your computer will be able to engage presentation settings. So just like we did before, you can type presentation settings in here without the space. And you notice that we can now run the command that is not available for desktops out of the box. So I now can engage presentation settings and take all of the advantages that I get when I'm presenting on a laptop computer. So I hope you enjoyed today's tip, and we'll see you next week.